new trend where nurses and hospital staff are recording choreographed dance videos at the hospital and posting them online. And the media has been swooning over it, saying it's inspirational and motivating and whatever. Now, I've gotten myself into a lot of trouble on Twitter because I tweeted a criticism of this. Now, call me crazy. A lot of people have over this and just in general. But I don't think hospital staff should be taking time out to choreograph dance routines at the hospital and post them online. Nice little conga line there. And then also there's a nice little Cupid shuffle that some of the other nurses were doing. Watch this. I would say that that's actually wildly, insanely inappropriate. And I would say that even in normal times. And then this one's probably my favorite right here. We have been told that we needed to shut down the whole economy and embrace a Great Depression because hospitals are being overwhelmed. That's what we were told, right? And now, while millions of Americans wait in line at food banks because their jobs have been taken from them because of the overrun hospitals, while that's happening, we have hospital staff posting dance videos. Okay, I think a lot of people are gonna look at that and say, why did I lose my job? You're telling me my business was destroyed and for this? They got nothing to do and they're recording dance videos. Okay, then why can't I get back to work then? Isn't that's a good question, isn't it? Because there are two possibilities here. When you see these videos, either these are hospital staff that have nothing to do and so are just are dancing and recording it, okay? In which case, let's get back to work. Or these are happening in hospitals where there are people dying in a pandemic and you've got nurses dancing down the hallway, literally dancing down the hallway. Okay, if I had a loved one that was at the hospital dying and the nurse was off choreographing a dance routine on the clock at the hospital, I'd be upset about that. I would be. It seems reasonable to be upset about that.
Talk to me, darling. Initial thoughts on what you just seen.
What he said about if you had a loved one in hospital, dying, and you looked down the ward, the nurse or whoever was doing a choreographed dance move, what would you say?
I would have anger rush through my body.
Nearly gone red. Thinking about it.
If I was in the hospital at that time,
stressed
and
out.
I seen a nurse
Really stressed out.
Yeah, upset, your emotions all over the show.
Yeah.
And then you turn around and there's doctors and nurses, choreography, dance moves, and you can hear them TikTok songs going at the same time.
And them go, one sec, that weren't right. Do it again.
Going, we need to do that again.
Ooh!
I would have to say something, me personally.
Yeah,
I would have to say
definitely.
something. I'd have to say, what are you doing? Excuse me, love. What are you doing? We're in the middle of a pandemic. Did you not know that? We are being told. God. We're being told on the news, stay indoors. Do not leave your house under any circumstance unless it's for your 1 hour exercise a day. When you order your food and it's delivered to your front door, get your antibacterial wipes and wipe all the Asda bags and wipe all your mincemeat and your apples and all your shite that you bought. Yeah? Do that. Because that's how severe this is. Do not come to hospital unless it's life-threatening, because we're overrun. That's what we were told. We've just seen multiple clips of hospitals all over different countries with everyone dancing. If we were overrun, like they're saying, and the pandemic was as bad as it was made out, you would not be... Do you think when the plague was going on, you had the doctors and nurses all singing and dancing?
Nah. That's the thing, isn't it? When the pandemic was going on, you thought it was a bad day in Bosnia, in the hospitals, didn't you? You're like, whoa, they are rushing around. Florence Nightingale, rush. Oh, get to it with all the masks on and this and that. So when I see that shit, it absolutely infuriates me. There's so many people's loved ones have died
This is what
in
I'm
this
saying.
pandemic, and you've got time to be sitting on the stairs going... Are you mad?
Which raises the question.
Are you mad?
Which raises the question. How did they have the time to do that?
Because, Max, they weren't overrun. They weren't overrun like we've been told. They couldn't have been.
Mate, I'm going to pull...
Could not have been.
Do you know what I'm going to do? In the midst of us talking now, I posted this video on our TikTok and it got like over 100,000 views and loads of comments.
Yeah.
While we're talking now, I'm just going to let these comments like just come up on the screen.
Yeah.
So we can see them while we're talking.
Yeah, okay. I like
because
that. I like
we're
that.
not the only people who are sat here. Because people could be watching going, they're bang out of order. Well, there's 100,000 people that don't agree with what they've just seen.
Yeah.
That, I'm afraid to say, is... I don't even know what
do you know what,
word to
actually?
use.
On our TikTok, the video we've just watched, on a few comments, actually, I read, like, in the height of the pandemic, pretty sure I read her nan was in hospital, and it was, like, the height of a pandemic. Hospitals were supposed to be overrun, but she said it was a ghost town. There ain't no one there.
Mate,
There ain't no one there.
I'm going to pull these up and the amount of people who are going,
We're
ghost
saying
town,
that. Yeah.
ghost town,
Yeah.
ghost town.
One particular girl said, ghost town. My nan was in there.
Mate, about 100 comments said ghost town. When I
Really?
uploaded it and the comments were flooding through, I couldn't even keep up with them, and I was like, and all I kept seeing was ghost town.
I didn't go through it that deep, but
Yeah.
the particular one I read, I read one, I was like, fuck no, how disturbing is that? After her watching that, going, my nan's dying of this
This
shit
is the
here.
thing.
And you're dancing up the hallway. You're dancing up the wall like a fucking prancing ballerina or whatever.
Mate, this is what I'm
What?
saying, but it obviously leads to another question. Why were they telling us they were overrun if you've got there's like 1,000 comments on there, and they're all saying the same thing? I was in hospital, blah de blah, and not only that, actually, I'll try and pull this comment up. She's a nurse.
Yeah.
Nurses were coming out.
Nurses
Nurses are coming out and going,
What were we saying?
it weren't busy. It was the least busiest I've ever seen it. And then they were going, this ward was busy, for example, like the ventilation ward. That was overrun. But there's 6 beds in there, and 5 of them were in use. So yeah, you're overrun in that department because you've only got 6 beds.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Bloody hell.
So
yeah.
we're not being told the stats. We're just being told it's overrun. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
So
yeah,
it
like,
might not be
not
6,
all
but people
the-
were saying like 15
where you break
beds.
your bones and they go into that ward, and
Yeah.
intensive care, they
Yeah,
go into
yeah,
that
yeah.
ward. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, this little ward we've got
Yeah.
here, it's got, say, 10 beds.
Yeah.
With coronavirus.
Yeah, like A&E.
It's overrun because 10 people are in their beds.
That's
10
it.
people.
That's it.
Some hospitals, like Bournemouth Hospital, where we go to,
Yeah.
it's one of the smallest hospitals in the country.
This
I'm
is
sure
what
of
I'm
it.
saying, yes. Well,
It
this
weren't
is
the
thing.
old hospital.
Mate, there's people in Canada, in America, on
Yeah.
these comments, like all around the world, and they're all saying the same thing. I went.
They're big hospitals. They're
Yeah,
fucking big hospitals.
It was a ghost town. They're all saying the same thing. But my question is, why was it a ghost town, George? If this pandemic was as bad as they're making out, you remember when they had that video came out and it was like a massive warehouse that they built right at the beginning,
Yeah, in London.
and he put like 1,000 beds in there,
Yeah.
and it never got used.
Yeah.
This is the thing, quickly. If it was as bad as they were making out it was, then all them 1,000 beds would have been in use.
Yeah. Go back to your question. I think it was totally blown out of proportion for a mild cold.
Yeah.
I've had COVID twice, Max.
Yeah.
Right.
I've had it once.
And every time I had it, then 2 times, I turned around and was like, fuck me, I've had worse colds than this.
This is what I'm
I
saying.
didn't even I've done a test, it was like positive. I was like, huh?
I feel fine.
I'm alright.
Yeah.
The first time I got it, like I went, like your taste and your smell went. And I was like, and you know you've got it.
Yeah.
But I was like, fuck off. Is this it?
Yeah.
I had it, and when I went back to work, I had like 10 days off because you got
You had
isolated
to do
for
10 days.
Yeah. I had 10 days isolation. I was bored fucking shit. I was like, and it was over Christmas. It was after
Oh,
New Year. It was
God.
after New Year, I was like, I can't wait to get back to work.
Extended
Went back to
grim, man.
work, and like 2 months later, I had like 3 days off work because I had a rotten cold. And I was like, I've got COVID now. I'm fucking in my bed. I'm bedridden now. Done like 4 COVID tests. None of them were positive.
So you felt worse off the common cold?
Off a common cold, yeah.
Says
And
it all.
okay, it affects everybody differently.
Yeah.
And all that shit. But mate, as soon as you attack my throat, I'm like, oh my god, I'm no good to know, bastard.
Mate, if I feel
that's
like
my
I'm getting
Achilles heel. That's my Achilles heel. I had tonsillitis 5 times.
My
mate.
middle
Hey,
name-
It's horrendous.
My middle name's Tonsillitis.
Tonsillitis.
Max Tonsillitis
Minging.
Walker.
So every time now I get a sore throat. I had a day off like last week.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I had a sore throat and I was like, I wake up and I feel like someone strangled me and I'm
Mate.
going, well, that last week what I had off, Monday, was worse than I had COVID.
Because it weren't all that.
If you was to test, do you know when you go round and stuff and everyone's got a cold and you go, you got my cold.
Yeah,
you got my
yeah,
cold
yeah.
was going around.
Yeah.
And then you get it and then everybody goes, oh, I had that. Yeah, cool. If you tested for that cold, when that happens, it would be just, if you was to put it in like a scientific way, say B fucking 52, that sounds like a band. I think it is a band. And you tested for it, they done tests for that particular cold, it would come up on a fucking test.
Yeah.
So, what's a coronavirus? But not just a common cold. What just spread?
Why was it worse? Why was it worse than the common cold? Why would they brand it
Because
so bad?
It's all about control.
Yeah.
And how else, right, can you make every single person in the country stay at home?
I don't know.
They turned around and was like,
Pandemic,
right,
yeah, a disease.
right, that's it now. You lot stay at home. You're not allowed out. If you go out, you'll be arrested.
But what's-
Because everybody going, fuck off.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
mad?
yeah.
I'm going outside. That's my freedom.
Yeah.
But they turned around and made it into serious, like, you're going to get ill and you're going to die.
Yeah.
I'm scared to go to Tesco's,
Yeah,
for Christ's sake.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, me-
Wipe down all your hands, fucking.
Mate, me and Layla were
mask.
going for walks in the first lockdown, the first furlough,
Yeah.
in the first lockdown. And we were going out for like our hourly walk, get out of the house. It's a red hot summer. Lovely.
Oh, my God, I forgot about that.
And like we were like walking down the path, like there'll be no one out. We're in a lockdown.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking flooded.
It was busy.
And I was getting, because he got into my head when he built that big warehouse with 1,000 beds. I was walking down the street, and there would be 2 people across the road, and then they would cross over, like, towards us. And I was going to Layla, can they not see us? Why the fuck are they walking towards us?
Yeah.
Did he not know there's a big disease in the air? That's how
Yeah.
much fear-mongering was going on. And then it was like, wash the apples quick. And then it was like, hang on a minute. Why are all these nurses dancing around in the hospitals? What's going on? It's one big fraud. That's what it is. What do you think the end game of this pandemic hype was for?
Remember where you heard it first,
Go on.
my friends. I truly believe, call me a conspiracy theorist all you want, but I truly believe it was a test to see how many people comply to information they get off the telly and the Prime Minister.
Okay. How
So-
much control do you still got?
They turn around on BBC News and go, right, this is a government warning now, right? Stay at home, save lives, save the NHS. What's the other thing?
Do as you're fucking
Eat-
told.
Eat out to help out all of a
Oh,
sudden.
Fuck me.
I believe it was just a trial period of getting everybody to do what the government say. Because,
like-
Max, it's never happened before.
Nah.
World War II was the last time it happened, and that was when fucking big air horns were going off. It was like,
Yeah.
Germany's got a bomb now. Everybody duck.
Yeah.
Everybody go to the subways, and everyone get to your shelters now.
Yeah.
But bombs were hitting, Max.
Yeah.
So everyone was going, fucking hell, there is bombs out there.
Yeah.
This time, they were doing it. Nothing happened.
Because it's an invisible enemy.
Right, tell me this, right? How the fuck can I get one of the most dangerous viruses or whatever it is, the coronavirus, on my hands, not have the symptoms of it, but I can turn around to you, shake your hand, yeah, and after 2 days or whatever, you test positive for it,
I don't get
and
it.
you have the symptoms. How can I pass over a deadly virus to you without getting it myself and being fucked up and going into the hospitals where these fuckers are dancing.
Don't make sense.
It doesn't.
I'll tell
make
you
sense,
what didn't
Max.
make sense.
It doesn't.
You know
make
when
sense.
I had COVID,
Yeah.
I didn't feel any different.
No.
I just got a positive test and was like, "Oh, I've got it. Oh, I've got it.
Yeah.
Right. What have I got to do now?" I didn't feel ill.
Do you know another thing? All them tests as well. We'll probably get fucking cancelled for this shit.
Probably.
But them tests only trace COVID.
What do you mean?
They only trace the COVID symptoms. So they only trace the cold. It doesn't necessarily mean you have it. Do you know what I mean by that? So if you had it on your finger and you went like that, swiped it, it go, yeah, you got COVID. But it doesn't necessarily say I have it and have the symptoms or anything, or I have it.
I remember,
but I can pass it on.
Yeah.
The deadly virus, I can pass it
You
on.
can
So
carry it.
I'm being told, because I don't really agree with testing, because if nobody tested, it wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
But I'm being told by some
Yeah.
people, yeah, but I only test because some other people's family, they have to shield and all this and that, and I'm just like, it's bollocks. It's bollocks. The common cold kills more old people than any virus going.
Yeah.
So coronavirus was a load of bullshit.
Yeah.
With that statistic of the cold and COVID.
Yeah,
if you put them two together, the common cold killed more people than COVID-19.
But do you remember when people were coming out with statistics at the time? And it was like the common cold stats had gone right down, but the COVID ones had gone right up.
What was that?
Where have they gone?
Yeah.
Where have they gone?
So if you tested for
Are you just calling it something else?
If you tested every single common fucking cold what's happened since you're at fucking primary school. Yeah? There'd be traces of it. The cold what just goes around. In your local community, work, school, fucking the local shop.
In a nutshell.
Have you got that cold?
Yeah.
Have you got like, oh, I had that last week actually. It's fucking horrible. And you don't get it again.
No, it's COVID.
Ridiculous.
This is the equivalent. COVID, common cold, tomato. It's the same shit.
Potato bravas. Hermanas.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
It's the same shit.
That's what I'm trying to say.
And that's where you were getting the stats from.
It's fucking ridiculous. It
my
really is, man.
my last thing on it, I agree with what you're saying. I think it was a matter of how much control do we still have over these people, because we haven't done a test since World War II. And I also think, on top of that, it was to crush the economy again. Yeah. And the reason I say that now is because when you look at the times we live in, with obviously all this like YouTube and social media and influencers, it's producing millionaire entrepreneurs left, right and centre. There's too many people breaking free from the common society where we're supposed to be, and they're buying houses and taking up too much of the property market, and they own too much, and the 1% were losing grip. The government are losing grip. There's too many people rocking the boat. So what we need to do, this is how we're going to do it. It's a global plan. NATO, everyone will work together, because we'll all just do the great reset. We've got videos on it. We'll probably do one. It'll come out after this. There's one we'll do. It's called Build Back Better, and everyone's saying it. The great reset.
Yeah.
And the thing is this. What it is, it's there's too many people rocking the boat. There's too many people getting out of the shitholes districts that we're supposed to be living in, to keep the order how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So what they did, they've gone, right, we need to destroy all the small businesses. How can we do that? First of all, what we'll do then, we'll just go, right, everyone's got to stay at home. If you haven't got savings because you're a small business and you just invested everything into it, you're the first ones losing your business.
Yeah.
Right.
Fuck.
Let's let everyone back out, see how much damage we've caused. We haven't caused enough damage. Second recession, everyone get back on furlough. Take out the next rank, see how fucked they are. Yeah. Then what happens is, come out of that, we have the few remaining survivors. The ones that got picked off, you're left with like high streets, shops shut left, right and centre. Nothing's fucking open anymore. Then what you've got is hotels and boozers shutting left, right and centre. Yeah. What's left is like the chains like Weatherspoons
The big
the
ones.
supermarkets,
The big
the
ones.
corporate companies.
The big
Who
ones.
owns
Not
them?
just the local boozer.
Exactly.
The big corporate.
The big chains.
Yeah.
Everyone's back in the stations now. You've got no savings. You've lost your mortgage. You've lost your house.
Oh my
You're
God,
back in the
Jesus
slums.
Christ.
That's happened all over the country, all over the world. And now what you're going to do is we're going to up these gas prices to a point where you can't afford it. So we're going to get everyone into debt. And then while you're in debt, once you're in debt, there's no getting out. Debt's quicksand. Once you're in it, you ain't getting out.
Nah.
And you've thrown everyone in quicksand. That's the reasons why I think it all happened. This with the nurses dancing and that is a prime example that they weren't overrun. That everything was one big conspiracy, and it was a load of fucking nonsense. That's my opinion on it. That's my verdict on it. Get the hammer, draw your verdict. What you think it was?
You're on about your voice and where your voice comes from and social media and all whatever. Where's your voice? Tell me how to get your point across without being on social media.
You can't. You can only have to chat in the booze with the boys.
Yeah. What you gotta do? Write letters, send a raven, send a pigeon. What the fuck? You ain't, are ya? Nah.
No.
Social media is the biggest influencer
Of them all.
going. But if you start going out the reins of the social media world, they cancel you.
Yeah.
Because the government want you just to talk about one narrative and one straight line.
Yeah.
You go out that line, pal, you're fucking cancelled.
There's no back in the family circle of trust.
Right, no, you get cancelled. And this is a problem here. And this is what's going on with COVID-19. Loads of people getting cancelled because of COVID-19. Speaking out about it and going, hang on a second. Matt Letizia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cancelled
football
from,
pundit.
got sacked from Sky Sports. Pretty sure his social media accounts got cancelled as well. Because he spoke out about COVID-19 and the relation with COVID-19 and the footballers collapsing on fields. It's gone up like 200%.
I re-uploaded.
Are we going to get cancelled now for talking
I
about it?
re-uploaded that video on our TikTok.
Yeah.
And TikTok took it down. Anything, if you hashtag anything with COVID, it takes it down.
Doesn't that smell like shit?
When I upload this
Max.
to YouTube, when I upload this to YouTube, I won't hashtag COVID. I won't write COVID. I won't write pandemic. I won't write any of that. I'll just write
anything.
hospital dancing. Because if I write anything to do with it, they'll take it down.
Doesn't that smell like shit?
Why would you hide it?
And
if you've got nothing to hide, why are you hiding
what I believe, right? If this continues to happen, right? You have a bit of a different brain. You go beyond the bubble with your brain, right? And they don't push the narrative what everybody's trying to push right now. All of a sudden, we just get fizzed out, and all these blue-haired mongrels, Quasimodo fuckers, right? They just have their point of view in the end. Because how are you going to get your message out without social media?
You're not.
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, fucking TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I just said that.
They shouldn't be allowed to cancel anything.
No, they shouldn't. This with freedom of speech and stuff.
There's no freedom of speech left.
Because
it's their narrative.
There's people I absolutely hate online. I absolutely hate them. But I wouldn't want them to be cancelled.
No, of course.
Because
it's their opinion.
At the end of the day, that's their opinion. But why is it only one narrative going with that opinion and not the other side? So you've got a straight line there where everybody has to get on.
Yeah.
But there's say the left for argument's sake. And everyone's going, oh yeah, we go there because that's the narrative.
Yeah.
But anybody who just drifts right a little bit goes...
Cancelled.
Donald Trump, cancel him.
Yeah.
Why? What has he said?
Because he's not pushing their narrative.
In that line, and he's not going left.
Yeah. He's not pushing the narrative that they want.
He's not.
And that's the same reason why... that's the same reason he called people... he's one of them conspiracists. Because he's speaking... different
outside,
lingo.
Beyond the bubble.
Different lingo.
Beyond the bubble. And that's what we do at Beyond the Bubble, my friends.
Hell yeah. Disclaimer. Everything you have heard on this podcast could be a load of bollocks, so don't go tell all your mates. Like and subscribe.
Fuck.
Peace out!
Fucking hell.
Smokey!